Well, another decrease in the number of coronavirus cases in Wisconsin. Let's take a look. Today, there were 2,534 cases reported. The holiday weekend and lower testing numbers could be a reason for the dip that you're seeing there. There were 6 new deaths reported today. There have now been 3,313 deaths in the state overall, with over 315,000 people who have recovered.
These data are robust and should be clearly sufficient to enable the emergency use authorization in the U.S.
And here's a hopeful sign that we are closer than ever to having a coronavirus vaccine. Moderna announcing today they have applied for emergency use authorization from the FDA for their vaccine candidate. The drug maker says it is more than 94% effective in large-scale clinical trials. And that approval process should take just about 2 weeks. Then the focus turns to distribution. Fox 6's Bill Miston speaking with a COVID-19 vaccine researcher earlier today with Wisconsin ties about what the news means and possibly what's to come. Bill?
Good evening, Mary. Now, if approved, the scarce first doses of these vaccines would likely be earmarked for essential workers like those in healthcare. But to vaccinologists, the recent news by companies like Moderna and Pfizer about these vaccines is buoying their optimism, likening the technological advancements in vaccine research to that of the space race.
Traditional vaccines use killed or weakened versions of a virus to get an immune response. But Moderna, along with Pfizer, using a technology called messenger RNA, which basically works like this: taking a harmless piece of the coronavirus's spike protein, get our cells to recognize it, and make our own vaccine.
And the fact that they're reaching 90% plus is really exciting. So it really kind of exceeded our expectation and it has really gotten us all excited in terms of the prospects for really shutting down this pandemic.
The news from Moderna as well as Pfizer exciting University of Washington School of Medicine's Deborah Fuller, as she and her team have finalized their own mRNA vaccine, which is in the early steps to start clinical trials. Their goal is to have a single-dose shot to cut down on costs and booster shot requirements, while maximizing the body's ability to recognize the virus and neutralize it.
So we're anticipating that our vaccine may work better, say, in across demographics.
The microbiology professor and medical school's infectious disease division chief got her doctorate at UW-Madison. She likens the research being done globally by thousands of scientists to that of the space race, with a major caveat.
It's not so much a race as a collaboration. So it's not like we're all racing each other and trying to be across the finish line necessarily first, but we're working as a team to fight a common enemy, which is the virus.
Now, as Fuller and her team are awaiting regulatory approval for their vaccine, there are many other vaccines that are in the final stages of clinical trials. Now, Fuller says there will be no doubt more promising vaccines to come, and really the first hurdle has been cleared to develop vaccines. The next hurdle will be distribution of those vaccines and to get people to start taking them. And a big part of that process, she says, will be transparency and education. Mary?
All right. Thank you, Bill.